from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Game 1 of the National League Wild Card Series on the show. It's the New York Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers. Alongside Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. And we're just about set to get this Wild Card Series underway, Singy. Game 1 has outsized importance in a 3-game set.
Yeah, Boog, it's a huge game. There's no doubt about it. Guys are always talking
Wild
about
Card Series baseball, MLG baseball.
Game 1 of a series. Well, in a 3-game series, that might be the only tone that gets set. So this is no ordinary series opener.
First pitch coming your way next. So, almost ready to get underway.
Bubba Wild starting pitching for the Mets. Let's go.
Ranger Suarez.
He really relies on working down in the zone with that heavy sinker he's got. You know, it's not as popular to throw that pitch today as it used to be because guys are looking to hit balls down in the zone, get them up in the air. It's very important for him when facing same-side hitters to be able to get it in, especially early in the count. And to opposite guys, be able to throw it at that front hip and run it over the inside corner. Well, the hammer is in effect, and he sets it up so nicely because of the velocity on the fastball. Will elevate that and then break you off when he's ahead in the count. What I love about him, you get into the later innings of the ball game, and the velocity seems to go up.
Good eye right there.
It's a good take.
On the ground to third. Toss to Alonso. One gone, bottom half of the first.
Batting second, the shortstop, Joseph.
Next for Milwaukee, Joseph Ortiz. Wild, a 6'8" righty, 255 pounds, and he's a former National League MVP. That one fouled off. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. That one at 101.
Cold night tonight, Boog, and that's a pretty firm fastball right there. I tell you what, memories of getting jammed, they creeping into my mind right now.
He goes down looking. Now it's Christian Yelich. And that one hit 97 on the gun. 2 outs, base is empty. And he takes a strike.
That was absolute gas. Triple digits on the gun. It's just a different experience as a hitter watching that go by.
And that drops in for a strike.
Man, that pitch was dotted. So much talent on display when this guy's out there on the hill.
And another ball.
Well, this is a guy that can be frustrating for pitchers because he fouls off so many pitches and grinds out the at-bat. I'm sure there's some times where a pitcher would rather just give up a first pitch single than have to waste 6 or 7 pitches on one hitter.
And he chases that one. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Nobody left for Milwaukee. Scoreless after 1. Bottom of the inning, and now it's William Contreras. Obviously a guy who makes good contact, hits for average, but one of the things in today's game, the value in the fact that he hits both righties and lefties. They're so reliant on the matchups nowadays, Chris, and it's huge when you don't have to sit a guy or platoon him.
When you can hit, both sides in terms of pitchers' arms, you're a guy that it's hard to take out of the lineup, and I think it's very important today when everything is under the microscope.
Swings through that. Swings through that one. It's a strikeout. Jackson Chourio up now for the Brewers. Pitch misses there, and that is ball one. This park is absolutely electric for this game. Such a great postseason atmosphere. That's to third. Sends it to first. 2 up, 2 down.
Nothing like the drama you get in the postseason, Boog. Love being a part of these games.
And the batter now is Rhys Hoskins. Ripped to third. Gathers and throws to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Brewers go down quietly. We'll move to the third with no score. And welcome back to the ballpark. Set for the bottom of the third. Up now for Milwaukee, Cody Bellinger. Bellinger is an interesting example when you talk about scouting and development. I mean, this is a guy now that has turned into one of the premier power hitters in the sport. He was a 4th-round pick out of Hamilton High School in Chandler, Arizona in 2013. He hit 1 homer his senior year.
When you throw a fastball by a guy like that, I imagine it's got to feel incredible. Look for him to throw it again at some point.
Hit hard, base hit.
Everything came together perfectly for him right there. That's a good sound coming off the bat, man. And as he connected out front and ripped it into the outfield, that's one of those swings where you just don't even feel the ball hit the barrel. That's a pure stroke.
At the plate, Isaac Collins. Right through there for a strike. Swing and a miss. Nice changeup.
The 2 strikes may see some movement over there at first base.
Some heat there at 98 miles an hour.
Well, not much you can argue with there as a hitter. That pitch was dotted on the inside corner of the plate. I think even if he swings the bat, it blows him up and not really able to do anything with it anyhow. I think if you see that early, then perhaps you can pull those hands a little bit tighter and get the fat part of the bat to it. But I'd say overall, you just have to tip your cap on that one. Great execution.
First, Bellinger dives back. Now it's going to be Caleb Durbin. That one finds the zone, and that's strike 1. And that's outside. Here comes a pitch. Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Here's the pitch. Runner on the go. Battling here as he fouls it away. And a pitch. Foul ball still a 1-2 count. Still tied at 0. Last of the third. Spoils the 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. Runner goes again. Fouls it off. Still 1-2. Check on the runner. It's low and gets away. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Next one misses, and it's 2-2. Triple digits on that last pitch.
Oh, interesting. He's looking very comfortable out of the stretch after giving up the leadoff single. Back-to-back strikeouts, so they haven't been able to move that runner up, get him into scoring position, and try to have a better chance of scoring. I tell you, good job so far on the mound. He just needs one more out.
Terang batting for the second time, and that's strike 1. On the ground, Lindor steps on the bag for the force, and that is that. Milwaukee leaves 1, and we're still knotted at 0. Game one of this wild card series. Up now for Milwaukee, Joseph Ortiz. And a strike on the outside edge. Ortiz goes 5 feet 9 inches, 26 years old, and he was drafted in the 4th round back in 2019.
They can live up in the zone all game if hitters will chase it. That's just too much velocity. Hitters got to look down in the zone.
That's the ball.
Just off the outside part of the plate. And there's one down.
Frustrating end to the at-bat for the hitter, and I'm sure that's going to sit on him for a little while. You want to be ready to hit the fastball. Sometimes you can overthink things, and I think that was the case right there.
Yelich in the box now. No balls and a strike.
0-1's the count.
Swing and a miss as he was out front that time. The pitch. And that just misses. All tied up here in game one of the wild card series. And that one is lifted in the air. Soto hauls it in for the out. And there are 2 outs.
Now batting, catcher, William.
Here's the catcher, William Contreras. Struck out swinging his first time. Close one, doesn't get the call. 1-0.
Close pitch there, and he's kind of wondering where it missed. You know, getting a feel for each umpire's strike zone is something that pitchers and hitters really have to think about and work on from game to game, and sometimes from at bat to at bat.
2 outs. Way out front for strike 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Swings through that, and it's a strikeout. And good work there as he gets a 1-2-3. Nobody left for Milwaukee. Still no score. Back here at American Family Field. And the batter now, Jackson Chourio. With the right-hander back to work. Swing and a miss as he was out front.
Well, these Brewers just aren't putting together very many good at-bats in this one. Just 1 base runner to this point, and it's not exactly early anymore. They've got players in this lineup capable of sparking something, but it just hasn't happened for them yet.
Just misses with that one. And a pitch. Chases the changeup in the dirt. Torrens gathers, throws to first, gets him. 1 away on a drop 3rd strike.
Man, I really like the ability to bounce back right there after not getting a call he probably should have gotten. Didn't let it affect his focus, and he came back with another good pitch to get him swinging.
And it's Rhys Hoskins up to the dish. Grounded out his first time up. Hoskins pushes it foul. Base is empty, 1 away here in game 1. Swings through that one.
Well, you got the hitter already chasing that nasty slider. If you're on the mound, you just want to expand the zone right now. Get a swing and miss and get through this at bat.
The pitch. Just missed. And another ball. Hoskins swings and blasts a high fly ball. Deep left field. Nimmo going back on it. That one is gone. That'll fire up the dugout. The Brewers score first. It's 1-0.
Knew what pitch he wanted to hit. Spit on some other pitches in this at bat. Was very patient, and it paid off.
Here's Cody Bellinger. He swings and fouls one off. comes up empty.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Ball 1 there. 1 out, bases empty, and a run in. Last half of inning number 5. Swings and misses, struck him out.
The right fielder, number 6.
Digging in, it's the speedy outfielder, Isaac Collins. In the air, left field, down the line. Feeling for the wall, makes the catch in foul ground. So they pick up a run of the solo shot and take the lead. We're through 5. Back here in Milwaukee, and here is Caleb Durbin. It's interesting he plays kind of a power spot defensively, but runs pretty well. So when you're looking at that position, you're not expecting someone that has maybe above average speed, but he does. And the 0-1. Swings through that one for strike 2.
And I think that skill set really upgrades the position, because when you have that kind of speed, it makes the whole team that much better.
And a pitch. Hits and misses. It's a strikeout.
Now at 10 Ks with still a few innings left, so expect him to add on to that total. And you know, pitchers are looking to have a strikeout per inning. I mean, that's excellent work. The way it looks now, I mean, he's going to have a better rate than that in this one. So really good stuff working on the mound in this one.
This is Bryce Terang. That one finds the zone. It's 0-1. And a pop-up, right side, foul territory. Alonso pulls that one down. Out number 2.
Got the pitch that he wanted, just a little bit quick. Front shoulder open, backside collapsed a little bit, and the launch angle not where he needed it to be.
Joseph Ortiz up now for the Brewers. And that's in there for strike 1. Home team down a run here in the bottom of the 6th. And now it's even up. Swing and a miss. He was late. Strike 2.
It really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today. Good fastball, excellent slider, but they've not been able to commit to one velocity and stay there.
It's down on strikes. 3 up, 3 down, inning over. Brewers go down quietly. They're down 2-1. And we're back. Bottom of the 7th. And now it's Christian Yelich. Wild back to work. Clips the corner. And it's 0-1. Fought off foul. The line to kick the pitch. Just missing there. Going to count 1 and 2. Now he breaks his bat. Wild makes the catch for the out. And there's 1 away.
Now batting, catcher, Williams.
And now the catcher comes up to him. William Contreras. And that one is in for a strike. Base is empty, 1 away here in the late stages of game 1. Connect on the curveball, struck him out.
Well, that's a curveball that I'm sure he wants back at the plate. 2 strikes, the sort of pitch you're hoping for. A bit of a mistake, and I'd say in a very hittable location, but clearly the break was enough to get him to swing through it.
Jackson Chourio will hit next. Foul back our way, and that's out of play. The Brewers trailing by 2 here at the bottom of the 7th. The 0-1 is outside, and it's a ball and a strike. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout. 3 up, 3 down for Milwaukee. Score holds. It's 3-1. Back now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th, Danny Young. So the New York Mets take game 1 of this wild card series. A huge win for them in hostile territory.
Yeah, Boo, they've still got their work cut out for them in this series, having to play on the road. But like you said, it's a huge win to jump ahead 1-0 in a short 3-game series. Just have to win one of the next 2 games to move on to the next round.
And on the home side of this one, obviously a disappointing result both for the team and the fans. But with home field advantage throughout, this series still has a lot up in the air. So, Singy, as the numbers show, a great performance on the mound in this one.
Absolutely, and that really set the tone from the beginning. A fantastic effort.
4-1 the final here today. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew here at MLB The Show, thanks for stopping by. I'm John Shambi. Talk to you soon.
The final line score for our ball game tonight. For the victorious New York.
And welcome into the ballpark. Happy to have you with us. The show presents the National League Division Series. It's the New York Mets going up against the Atlanta Braves. Along with Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi, and a lot riding on this one as these teams meet for game 2, Chris.
Yeah, this might be the game to actually
NLDS
decide
versus
the
Atlanta
series,
Braves.
Boog. When it's 5 games, getting a 2-0 lead is a dominant position to be in, and I don't see this series getting to a 5th game if we have a repeat of game 1's outcome in this one.
Yeah, the Crows start circling for a team that falls into a 2-game deficit, not where you want to be. And we'll be back for the first pitch right after this. Just about to get started. And today's starting pitcher, Spencer Schwellenbach.
Well, he comes at hitters with a 5-pitch mix, so for him, it's always interesting to see how he utilizes those weapons. He may lean on
Goal is no
1 or
hitter for
2
Bubba Wild.
pitches,
MOG
depending
stuck
on
out
how
tongue.
things are going and how things are working. But if he can control 4 or even 5 of those offerings, look out, hitters. It's going to be a tough day. He's really going to be able to keep those guys off balance. Power pitcher. He's going to speed you up with the fastball velocity, and out of his hand will explode the breaking ball. Very difficult for hitters to keep that front side closed and hit the ball the other way because they know if they're not ready to pull the trigger, the fastball will beat them.
Now, Ronald Acuna Jr. And a pitch.
Well, after putting up a nice inning on offense, got some runs across, this is where you look for the starter to go out there, have a shutdown inning. Don't give that other team any hope. You just hope that he can get through this inning, get the bats back up there while they're hot.
Swing and a line drive and a base hit up the middle. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
Right there, he does a great job of staying in the big part of the field. Man, there are a lot of hits there.
Next to hit, Ji-Hwan Bae.
1-0.
In the dirt. No advance. Good job behind the dish. Throws wide, and it gets past him at first. And he airmails it out of play. Look out. The Mets up by 2 here in game 2 of the NLDS.
Not showing great command so far in this at-bat. 2-0 count. He's got to execute here or this could get ugly.
Wild. One of the best strikeout pitchers in the game, and that certainly is a benefit to him when he's in a spot like this. Here comes a pitch. Swing and a miss as he was late that time.
Yeah, if you're going to be in the game in high leverage.
That one is absolutely belted. And it hits the fence. The run comes in from second. It's 2-1. And that's a double.
Picks himself up an RBI. Anytime you smoke a ball off the wall, you kind of think about what it could have been. But obviously, you have to be happy with that result.
And now, Todd Helton. And there's the strike. The Braves down by a run here in game 2. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
No ball. 2 strikes.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
Came after him with the fastball on 0-2, and that's a pretty good demonstration of what power pitching is all about. He's got the stuff, obviously, and right there he used it to put his opponent away without needing to waste any pitches.
Matt Olson stands in now and watches strike 1. Right through there for a strike.
This guy at the dish excels in 2-strike counts. Got to be careful with him out there in the mound.
Struck him out looking.
Well, even if you don't feel great about it, you got to swing the bat with 2 strikes in this situation. You've got the tying run out there in scoring position. Just put the ball in play. Maybe something good will happen. It just didn't look like he understood the situation.
2 outs and 1 in scoring position. Hard hit left side. Zips it to first. Inning over, and it could have been worse. So it's 1 run on 2 base hits. 1 error and 1 left on. End of the first from Truitt. Bottom of the second. Now in for the Braves. Jurickson Profar. And the pitch. And that's a little bit high. And that is ball one. Hit hard on the ground is short. Lindor on to first. One up, one down.
One wonderful thing about the postseason, you never know who's going to be the hero. It could be the superstar, but often it's a far more unlikely player.
On a line, base hit. So a man aboard now with one away.
Batting in, the second baseman, Ozzie.
Here is Ozzie Albies up to hit. You know, one unlikely postseason hero I saw up close, Alex Gonzalez of the Marlins in the 2003 World Series. Wasn't really known for his bat, but he hit a walk-off homer in extra innings in Game 4. It tied the series and was a huge momentum swing. Harris, the runner at first with one gone in the inning. Throws over. Harris dives back in safely. Right-hander kick steals. That clips a corner.
Man, that pitch was dotted. So much talent on display when this guy's out there on the hill.
It misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, you talk about a pitch coming in on a frozen rope. The challenges of catching up to 100 miles an hour or above is just tremendous. You see it, at least you think you do, but by the time you swing, it's in the catcher's mitt.
And here's the catcher. Foul ball there. Home team down a run. Bottom half of inning number 2. And that drops in for a strike. Ripped to short. They get the force. And that's the third out. One left for Atlanta. They're down 2-1. Back at Truist Park. Now it's the right fielder, Ronald Acuna Jr. As he turns on the rubber, and with that good live arm delivers. Fastball for a strike.
So, Boog, here's an interesting fact about Acuna. He has the most home runs at Truist Park. He passed Freddie Freeman for the top spot in 2023, and I think he might hold that record for a while.
Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. And he deals. Not even close there. And that's ball one. Heading down the line. And it gets into the corner, but it's foul.
Really nice swing as he gave that one a ride the opposite way, but it sliced just foul down into the corner. That had extra bases written all over it if it stayed fair.
Triple digits on that last pitch. So now to the plate for Atlanta, Ji-Hwan Bae. Fastball in for a strike. 0-1. Left field. Schwarber in pursuit. Makes the grab. And there are 2 outs. And next for Atlanta, Todd Helton. He struck out swinging at his first at bat. That one finds the zone. That's strike one. And the pitch is outside, ball one. 2 outs, base is empty. That misses, and a count 2-1. He swings and fouls one off. Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2. 2 outs. Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming. The pitch.
Wow, this guy's really battling up there as if his run is the game-winning run. I love.
Swings through that, and it's a strikeout. And good work there as he gets a 1-2-3. Braves go down quickly here, and they trail it here 2-1. We're in the second game of this division series. And now it's Matt Olson's turn to hit. Wild back to work. Swing, and that ball smashed on a line. Soto squeezes it, and there's one down. Here's Austin Riley. Grounded out his first time. That one not close. 1-0. Base is empty, one away. We're here in the bottom of the fourth. Outside low, and the count is 2-0.
He hasn't wanted to challenge in both of those pitches off the plate away. Don't expect anything down the heart of the plate. You may just have to be patient and take your walk here.
Hard ground ball, base knock. So they get a man aboard with a one-out single. Here's the switch hitting left fielder Jurickson Profar. And fouled off. Kicks and deals.
1-1.
Squirts away a little bit. Nothing doing. Count moves to 1-1. Riley leads off first with one away. That one's in there. Now 1-2.
With 2 strikes, may see some movement over there at first base, trying to stay out of the double play right here.
Got him swinging. Now a chance for Michael Harris. Hammered, and now maybe extra bases. Around second is Riley. Rounds third, headed for the plate. He'll score and then tie. It's 2-2, and he's there at third with a triple.
These hitters today are so great with handling velocity. They're seeing high speeds day after day, and a nice job of turning that one around.
Albies stands in now, looks at that one inside. Runner at third, 2 away. Line drive, base hit. In to score is the runner from third. It's 3-2.
Well, he comes through clutch with the RBI single. That was big. You'll often hear the phrase short to it, long through it, and that's a great example of it right there. Got the barrel in the hitting zone early, squared it up with the well-timed swing, and came away with a beautiful line drive in the center field.
And that one is lifted in the air. Nimmo has it sized up. And that is the third out of the inning. And we're back. Here's Acuna now. The right-hander back to work. Fastball for a strike. It's 0-1.
Well, here's a player who hits the ball a mile when he connects. In fact, Acuna is the first player in the StatCast era to hit 10 straight home runs, all traveling more than 420 feet. He's not exactly just clearing the fences out there.
Check swing on an 0-2. Appeal to first. And Mike Fillmore right on it. He says he held up. That misses the zone. And the count's even at 2.
The healthy cut. Tough pitch at 98, but a really good pass at the ball.
And here it comes. Got him looking. Picks up strikeout number 7.
Well, really nice job of finishing the hitter off right there. Left side command, fastball firm to the outside corner. Tell you what, very difficult to do anything with that pitch, even if you do swing.
And now Ji-Hwan Bae. Pitch misses inside, and it's 1-0. Bae, in his second season, 25 years old, usually a second baseman, but today starting at shortstop. 1 out, base is empty. Swing and a pop-off in foul ground. Vientos hauls it in, 2 away.
That was a good hard fastball with some nice ride up in the zone right there. Hitter looked like he was on it, but I think that velocity at the end just beat him. Instead of a line drive or something hit deep, it's a pop-up and an easy out for the defense.
Help. In the box again. Takes the strike. On the ground to the left. And that should be extra bases. Now he'll turn for second. And he's in there standing up with a 2-out double. So 2 down. And now Matt Olson up to hit. Singy, you can't ask for anything more. This guy checks all the boxes offensively.
He is the ultimate professional, and it doesn't just start at game time. It starts in the afternoon, the way he prepares and gets ready for the ball game. I tell you what, his teammates feed off of the leadership that he shows on and off the field.
Swing and a miss. That one at 99. And the count is 0-2. Got him looking. That's out number 3.
A lot of adrenaline, we can see it right there, and sometimes you just got to let it out. That's an outstanding job of taking that, executing, and getting out of a tough inning.
Back here in Atlanta, bottom of the 6th inning. Down the third baseman, Austin Riley.
If you don't get ahead in the count, you can forget about having any success against him.
Wild back to work. That one in there across the letters. Close one, doesn't get the call. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a pitch. And another ball. Swing and a miss as he was out front. The wind and the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Down on strikes. And that's the first out.
Well, I'd say he pretty much had to offer it that one. You don't want to leave it in the umpire's hands. Even though it ended up outside the zone, it still was close enough to where it looked like it could drop down right on that corner and get the call. Last thing you want to do is get punched out by the umpire knowing you could have at least fouled the pitch off and kept the at-bat going.
Profar in the box with 1 away as he takes ball 1. The Mets up by a run here in the bottom of the 6th. And that's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Line drive, caught.
That'll drive you crazy as a hitter if you let it. I mean, he couldn't have hit that ball more on the screws than he did, and yet he's got nothing to show for it. Hang with him. I know the feeling.
Now in for the Braves, Michael Harris. And that's in for a strike.
No ball, 1 strike.
Ripped on a line. Makes the grab on the run. And that is that. Braves are set down 1-2-3. They still trail it here 4-3. And welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom of the inning. Ozzie Albies up to the plate.
The second baseman.
The wind of the pitch. And a breaking ball drops in for a strike. Up and in. And now it's even 1-1.
You don't want to get beat by a fastball in. And he spits on that one.
And that skips in the dirt. Looking to get the tying run on base. And that's downstairs and outside.
He hasn't fallen behind in a count like this all day. He's in danger of walking his first batter right here.
Fall off foul. Hard hit left side. Toss to Alonso, and they get the leadoff hitter in the 7th.
you want to be a great defense, you have to deliver consistently. It doesn't matter how many highlight reel plays you make if you can't execute the small stuff, just like we saw.
Now it's the Atlanta catcher. There's the strike. Holding on to a one-run lead here in the late stages of game 2.
That's outside.
1-1. The wind of the pitch. And a count 1-2. Just misses there.
Man, oh man, I don't know how you take that pitch. That's as close as it gets.
Center field. And that'll fall for a base hit. And that turns the lineup over.
Well, I don't think that pitch would have been called a strike, but he did such a nice job of pulling his hands tight to the...
Reed Garrett into the game.
These are the spots where this team is riding pretty high right now, and you can tell the home team pretty confused as to why they're not getting it done. But it's a huge tone setter when you can take the first 2 games of a series, especially on the road. Now we'll see if they can back it up at home.
Here's one final look at the line score from this one, Chris.
It was a close 2-run game, and a couple of key moments just really made the difference. Not much separates these 2 teams.
A 5-3 final score in this one. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long.
The final line score for our ball game tonight. For the victorious New York Mets, 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left 8 runs.
And welcome into the ballpark. Happy to have you with us. The show presents the National League Division Series. It's the New York Mets going up against the Atlanta Braves. John Shambi and Chris Singleton on the call. And as we get set for Game 5, Chris, it seems like this series could still have a few twists and turns in it.
Yeah, Boog, the only negative here today is that the series is going to come to an end. As fun as it's been, I wish it could go on a few more games. And the way these teams have battled each other, and with some of the amazing moments we've seen in getting to this point, I think we're in for a great one here in Game 5.
Hard to imagine it won't be a classic, Siggy. I'm ready to see what surprises are waiting for us. First pitch coming your way next. Just about set to go. Starting on the mound in this one, Grant Holmes.
Oh, this guy featuring that straight four-seam fastball, but off of it throws the cutter, and really he's most effective when he's using that cutter off the four-seam fastball just to miss the barrel of the bat. Not always going to see the swings and misses, but if you can somehow get weaker contact, you have a chance to collect some outs. Now, it's going to look the same until the very last second, so hitters are going to have to make a decision and hope that sometimes they're able to guess right. Anytime you have 5 pitches to work with on the mound, that repertoire can be a real weapon in terms of keeping hitters off balance, man. It's one of those things that I'm going to be looking for in this one. Does he have a feel for all of those pitches, or is he just able to get 1 or 2 over in the strike zone where he wants? Now, it's tough to do to be able to command all those pitches, but if he can, he is going to be very tough for the opponent today.
And the right-hander deals. And it's 1-1. That one out to right. Moving back for this one. Calls it in, and there's one away.
Batting second, the left fielder,
Jose Azocar next up for the Braves. That one's in there. That's strike one. One out, base is empty. That one catches the zone. 0-2 now. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Dominating strikeout there on just 3 pitches, and that's what a good power pitcher can do to you. He's hitting his spots, filling up the strike zone. Sometimes he bats over before it really begins.
And now Todd Helton. First pitch misses. 2 outs, base is empty. Next offering upstairs. On the ground to the left. And foul ball. And that's a foul ball. 2-2. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. Next pitch way upstairs. There's a swing and a drive. Durant reaching back towards the wall. And brings it in at the wall. End of the first from Truist Park. No score. Back at Truist Park, ready to go for the last half of the inning. Matt Olson up to the plate.
the right fielder, Matt Olson.
Wild back to work. Olson, a multi-Gold Glove Award winner, batting in the cleanup spot. Usually a first baseman. Today he starts in right. Well struck left field. Back there. Say goodbye to that one. And this place is rocking. And that gives them a lead. It's 1-0.
He dropped the barrel right there. Got a fastball down at the knees where he'd prefer it. So many times now guys are having to adjust to the elevated fastball. So I'm sure his eyes got big when he saw that one coming.
Austin Riley, the next to hit, takes ball 1. Bounce to third. Vientos tosses to first. 1 away. That ground ball may have him back on track after the homer.
It's a good recovery, though, after giving up the home run. Not allowing it to stay in the head, but going to work at the next hitter, and a tough one at that.
One down, base is empty. Clobbered to right field, way back, gone. A gigantic blast. It's their second home run of the inning, and they add on. It's 2-0. He absolutely crushed that one.
No doubt about that one, Boog. We knew it wasn't coming back.
Up against the wall and brings it in. 2 outs, base is empty. Now it's the Atlanta catcher. First pitch, and he just misses.
Count 1-0.
And here it comes. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Sizing this one up. Corrals it. And that'll do it. But 2 runs for them, and they jump ahead. And welcome back to the ballpark as we go to the last of the third. Now at the plate, Ji-Hwan Bae. Up the middle, Lindor fires to first on the run. 1 up, 1 down.
Just an outstanding play going up the middle right there. And the exchange to get the throw off to first just shows you why he's one of the best shortstops around. So smooth, yet so quick at the same time. And any slower, and those wheels burning down the first baseline are going to turn that into an infield hit. Well, he looks fresh out there. Just needs to get a little more confidence and remember how good he's been in the past.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And 2 straight set down to begin the bottom of the third.
With that kind of velocity, an elevated fastball, even if it's still in the strike zone, can be tough for hitters to get on top of.
Gets under and pops it up. And that goes foul. 2 down, nobody on. Fought off foul. Kicks and deals. Wouldn't chase that time.
Rarely will you see a pitcher just waste a pitch like that. The batter wasn't even tempted to swing. Every pitch needs to have a...
Well, that's a strikeout, and that'll do it for the inning. And the Braves go down quietly as they're unable to add to their 2-0 lead. The pivotal Game 5 of the division series. And the batter now, Todd Helton. Wild back to work. And there's a foul ball. Nothing like postseason baseball. There's a buzz in the air. Every pitch seems bigger. It's truly special. Just missed.
There really is a different feel to the postseason. I only got 5 games of postseason action in my playing career, but I treasured each of them.
Swing and a miss. Ugly swing right there. Kicks and fires. Swing and a ball lifted in the air. Shallow left field. Lindor grabs it on the run.
That's a really nice play, ranging back into the outfield for that catch. We all know those can be a little tricky, especially if the wind's swirling around out there.
Here's Matt Olson. Not even close there. Ball 1.
Pretty smart not to serve something up for him right there. He's really good at hitting the first pitch.
This one popped up. Mauricio should have this one. But it's the pitcher that makes the play. And there's 2 down. Here's Austin Riley. First time up, he grounded to third. Down the line. Schwarber drifts towards it, reaches out for it, but can't make the play, and it drops foul in the corner. Two outs. And down on strikes. 3 up, 3 down, inning over. Braves go down quickly here. Score remains 2-2. Back here in Atlanta, bottom of the inning. So now to the plate for Atlanta, Jurickson Profar. The pitch. Foul back our way, and that's out of play. Profar, in his 12th season, 32 years old, and he's usually in the outfield. Today, he's the DH. Mauricio throws to first in time. Profar is out. Here is Ozzie Albies up to hit. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. And that drops in for a strike. Pulls that one foul. One down, base is empty. Foul ball, still 0-2. Righty to the plate. Almost got him.
Straighten him up a little bit.
All tied up here in Game 5 of the NLDS. Hits and misses. It's a strikeout.
Thought it was a pretty good pitch. Top of the strike zone. We're seeing more fastballs in that location. Hitters, especially with 2 strikes, have to be ready to pull the trigger.
Now it's the Atlanta catcher. He's 0 for 1. Out in front with the swing, and that is strike 1. 2 down, nobody on. Here in Game 5. Swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout. Down in order go the Braves. Score remains deadlocked at 2-2. Back at Truist Park, bottom of the 6th. Now in for the Braves, Ji-Hwan Bae. The wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
0-1.
Outside. And the count even 1-1. Into center and a base hit. So now back to the top of the order.
Everything came together for him. Just a very nice approach and swing right there to use the big part of the field. Everything was on time. He stayed balanced through the entire swing and just launched that one into center. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
And another ball.
This is one of those situations defensively where you can't try to do too much. You got to make sure that you field the ball cleanly and get 1 out first. It's going to be tough to get 2 with this kind of speed in the batter's box.
2-2. He fouls it off. We'll do it again. With the go-ahead run at first here in this decisive Game 5. That one ripped. Down the line, and it's foul. Righty delivers. Up the middle, and he knocks it down. Safe at first as they can't make the play. A perfect example right there. That plate discipline, it pays off.
The deeper he gets into a count, the more comfortable he becomes, and he usually wins the battle.
Hey, here we go, here we go.
Azokar in the box here, lets that one go for a ball. Just missed.
Struggled a little bit, missed one. Couple of strikeouts earlier, but doing a much better job in this at bat to get ahead and find a good hitter's count at 2-0.
Big swing and a miss.
Great spot to be in right here for the pitcher. You can either strike this guy out or get a ground ball, double play.
With the go-ahead run at third, here in the bottom of the 6th. That one hit to right, on the move. Makes the grab. Runner tags from third. He'll score on the sac fly. It's 3-2.
Sometimes all you got to do is your job, and don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. Runner third, less than 2 outs. Put the ball in play, and a nice job with the sac fly.
That's in there. And it's 0-2. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. The 0-2. Fights it off. He'll see another. Swing, and that ball smashed on a line. He makes the grab.
Man, he smoked that fastball. He's all over it. It's just frustrating when you can't get it to fall. Maybe next time off he'll find a hole.
Check on the runner, and he's back standing.
Base runner with a one-way lead right there. All he's trying to do is get a look at the pitcher's move. Had no intent of stealing on that pitch.
At the belt and fires. Runner takes off. And that's a stolen base. Not even close.
2 outs is a great time to try to steal second, especially when you have a guy with some wheels on first. Defense probably knew it was coming, but figured we better focus on trying to get this hitter out.
Harris at second with 2 down. And a foul ball. He stays alive.
A healthy cut. Tough pitch at 98, but a really good pass at the ball.
That one not close. And it's a full count. Good plate appearance there. Able to take the walk. It wasn't easy, but he earned that walk after a long at-bat.
Well, that's a nice job of grinding out that at-bat. Saw a lot of pitches and ends up drawing the walk. Very gritty.
Riley, the next to hit, takes outside. 2 outs. Couple of base runners at first and second. Bounce to the left side. And that squirts through. Coming home. He scores. It's 4-2. Now the throw comes in. Runner holds it third.
Well done. Drives in the run. Just one of those scenes.
New pitcher on now. Frankie Montas.
Win a National League Division Series, you can breathe a little bit as the next one will stretch out to possibly 7 games. I'm sure they don't want to take it that far, but they're just going to be happy to get there. Congratulations.
The final line score for our ball game for the victorious Atlanta Braves, 4 runs on 6 hits.